Hey everyone, this is Chris from Flip the Table, and you may remember in episode 82, when we covered VCR Top Rank Boxing, I talked a little bit about this game, Mike Tyson's Punch-Out!, which is my favorite Nintendo game of all time, and one that I played so much in college that I actually could beat the first 4 fighters, get all the way to King Hippo, without looking at the screen. Now, it's been about probably 10 or 11 years since I've attempted this, and I foolishly said on the podcast that I would shoot a video to see if I could back it up after all these years. So here we are, for good or for ill, I'm going to try this. I'm going to play Punch-Out! Without looking, and we're going to see if we can get through the first 4 guys. So, I'm going to turn up the sound so you can hear the action here, and I've got my makeshift blindfold. I'm going to pull this down over my eyes. No mirrors, no camera tricks, you're just going to have to trust me on that. And so, without further ado, let's get started and play some Punch-Out! So, I'm going to pull this right down so I can't see. I'm going to hold the controller where you can see it so you know everything's above board here. First fighter here is Glass Joe, which shouldn't be too much of a problem because you can be very aggressive with Glass Joe. You can just kind of throw punches at him. He only blocks once in a while. And when he blocks, you just punch somewhere else. Right on the jaw. That'll teach him a lesson. Alright, he's coming back for more. Here we go. That's 2. For those not familiar, if you knock the opponent down 3 times, or get knocked down 3 times, that's a technical knockout, and that ends the match. And if you throw too many punches, you get tired and you have to dodge a few punches to recover. There we go, that's 3. So that'll take care of Glass Joe. So those star punches, you hit the start button to wind up and do a big uppercut. And the tough thing is that you turn purple when you get exhausted in this game, and that's a visual cue that you need to start dodging punches, but you can't see that on the screen, so you have to kind of listen for your punches just not connecting, just not doing anything. Von Kaiser's a little bit tougher because he has a little bit more defense. You can kind of just flail and throw punches at him and get stars, but now you're seeing a little bit more of the technical strategy there, where you try to dodge his punch when he punches you, and then you can throw counter punches and do a little bit more damage, but again, a little bit tougher when you can't see the punch coming in. Going into round 2 with this. Hopefully we can get a quick knockdown at the beginning of the round, and that should set us up for success. He does this thing where he kind of ducks down, and if you throw a left at him, you can get an easy star. However, again, a little bit tougher when you're not looking. Alright, we got one. 2 more this round. Here we go. That's 2. Knockout! Yes! Gotta love that. Alright, that's 2 down, 2 to go. The next fighter we're going to face is Piston Honda, and he is the champion of the minor circuit. So we're going to go after the title right now. Title fight, here we go. Piston Honda, a lot tougher, especially in these conditions. That was extremely lucky what just happened. There we go. Make quick work of him at the beginning here. That's 2! Going a lot better than expected. Yes! Alright, so that's 3 down, 1 more to go, but we're going to take a little bit of a break because it's time for my favorite part of the entire game, and that is the mid-game training montage. Are you ready? Sing along if you know the words. Da 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 da. Well, wasn't that refreshing? Alright, let's move on. We don't need any passkey here, so we're not going to write that down. We're just going to move right on. 1 more fight, and then we'll be at King Hippo, who I absolutely cannot beat without looking, so I'm not even going to try. Don Flamenco, here we go. He's a little bit interesting. You can get him in that stun lock. He kind of waits for you to punch him, and then when you punch, he immediately punches back. So, if you know the pattern... Caught me off guard there for a second. Alright, that's 2. 1 more, and I'll have done it. Here we go. Getting nervous now. Uh-oh, I think I got it. Yes! Woo! That's it. That is beautiful. There we go. A technical knockout on Don Flamenco. And we have just beat the first 4 guys without looking at the screen. And there he is, King Hippo, who I'm not even going to try to beat without looking. But I will bid you good night. And stay tuned, because later on we're going to go ahead and fight Mike Tyson and see how that goes. So in the meantime, this is your moderator, Chris, reminding you, in Soviet Russia, table flips you.